Alright, in this video we're going to create the circles that you see on the flyer. So these three circles, alright, they are created from these three graphics, image or IMG 03, 04, and 05. I'm simply going to bring them in one at a time. Alright, so the first image features a woman and a man in an office setting. I'm going to select the elliptical tool, and I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to start my cursor close to the top of the photo and to the upper left of the woman, and I'll hold down shift and I'll make my circle about as large as I can. Alright, like so. Now I can go along with that, but I don't really like that because it's too close to the woman's head in my opinion. I want to get more of her background in. So you can see the cursor, if it looks like this and you still have the selection tools selected, in this case elliptical marquee tool, I can click and drag to move my selection a bit. Alright, that's a little bit better. It's good enough for me. I'm going to choose edit, copy, go back to our document and choose edit and then paste. Okay, now it's going to bring in a circle of our man and woman, a circle of our image on it within our document. I see it in the layers panel. Let's see, let's try to find it. Alright, here it is. Okay, my computer's running slow, so it may have shown up before it may appear to have been there before I actually saw it. But anyway, so this circle is fairly large in comparison to the actual original. So I go to edit, transform, and then scale. And that's going to bring up handles around the circle. Alright. Normally when I scale from the corners using the corner handles and hold down shift and drag inward, and that's going to keep it proportioned. Alright. When I mouse over my image and it has a black arrow, that means I can move it. Okay, so what I can do is try to line it up with the original. I'm using arrow keys as well as the mouse. It's still a little bit large. It doesn't have to be perfect, but let's try to get a little bit closer. Alright, right there is good enough for me. At this point you can hit enter, or you can hit the check mark in the upper right hand corner. Now let's zoom in a little bit so I can show you that these circles have a white border around them. Alright, let's scroll to the left, and I'm going to use my arrow keys a little bit to move it down some. Alright, we can see there's a white stroke. So I'm going to bring in blending options and use a layer style to create the white stroke. So if I right click on this layer and choose blending options, that's going to give me access to the layer styles, and I'm going to choose the stroke option at the bottom of our list. Alrighty, it showed up off screen, so I'm going to drag it on over. Alright, you'll see that stroke is towards the bottom of the list. So when I click the word stroke, it checks it and it adds a stroke to whatever's on that layer, which in this case is the man and woman, circle of the man and woman. If I start at the bottom, you see the color is black, and you can see it's black there. We want that to be white, so I click the color swatch and click and drag to the upper left hand corner. You can tell when you have it perfectly white because the RGB will be 255. The hexadecimal for the web color would be all F's, so that's white, or white. The stroke size, I've done this a couple times, so I know it's 30. That may be kind of hard to see, so let me change it to another color so you can see. 30 is close enough for me. Alright, but there you can kind of see the color of the stroke. You can actually see the stroke since I changed it to a different color. But again, the stroke is going to be white. And we click OK to confirm that we are done with the layer style. I'm going to cut on my layer with the man on it so we can get a better idea of what we're working with so far. Alright, so we have our circle shown there. Alright, so we can zoom out a little bit. And we're simply going to do the same thing 2 more times to get the next 2 circles. The circle of the tree and the circle of the 2 businessmen talking. Alright, so we follow the same process again. I'm going to just simply click and drag the photo into Photoshop. You can also use File Open. That works as well. I'm going to select the elliptical marquee tool. Again, go in the top upper left hand corner. Hold down Shift to keep it as a circle. That's a decent sized circle. I'm going to move it. Try to put that tree about in the middle. Alright, and I'm going to copy this. Go back to our original file. Choose Edit and Paste. And our tree shows up right there in the middle.